Okay, so the first exercise that we're going to do is the sit to stand. Okay, so you're sitting on your chair as normal. And really this is kind of eventually turns into squats that you might do in the gym, but it starts off very easily, gently. So if you think about when you get up, sometimes there's a bit of a groan when you get up. So if we want to try and use our muscles most efficiently, you're going to come forward to the front edge of your chair. Okay. And then you're going to kind of slide your heels back a little bit so that maybe your toes and your knees are about level with each other. Okay. So then you're going to sit up tall. Imagine you're sitting in a church, sitting up tall. And then you're just going to push down onto those feet and lift yourselves up. Nice and simple. You do that many times a day, I'm sure. So if we sit down really slowly as you can. So you're going to sit down as slowly as you can. Okay. Then slowly down. So you're going to, we're letting ourselves sit down completely. And then just pushing back up. So you're trying to do that with as smoothly as possible, with as little kind of groaning, moaning and groaning as possible. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. You do that many times a day. If we wanted to make it a little bit harder, we stand up. But this time we're not going to sit all the way down. We're just going to bend the knees slowly, and you're just going to touch the chair and no more. So you don't actually sit down and then you come back up. Okay, so we could maybe do that 10 times. Touching the chair and no more. 9. Using the buttock muscles. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. This time we can sit down. Okay, so we've done that 10 times. If we did it another 10 times, and maybe try to do two more rounds of 10. Yeah, let's try that. So you're going to stand up nice and tall, slowly down, because when you come down slowly, it makes these muscles at the front have to work a bit harder, and then back up again. And 9. Well, I got an extra one in there. 8. 7. 6. 5. So remember, you're just touching the chair and no more, or maybe not even touching the chair. 4. 3. 2. And 1. And then we can sit back down. Okay, so we've got one more set of 10 to do. Then we're going to look at a different exercise. So standing back up again. This is our last lot of 10. Try and go as slowly down as you can. Just touching the chair or not even touching it, but we want to try and get the bottom down a little bit there. So the knees and the hip joints, they're having to kind of move in almost their full range. I've lost count as usual. Maybe that was 6. 5. 4. 3. Okay, you're here now. That's great. We're using this strength and balance. We're kind of basing it on the leaflet that's some of you might have seen.
Okay.
Okay, so how to look at our sit to stand. I think the next one we'll have a look at is called the front knee strengthener. Sitting on the chair again for that one. Okay, so we're going to sit back down there. Okay, so again, we want to sit up tall. We don't want to be slouching. So sitting up tall, and we can start just sitting kind of in a natural position where you put here there. So you're going to straighten your leg. Keep sitting upright. Okay, that in the back of the leg already. What we then want to do is see if we can lift the leg up a little bit more. And just hold it there for a few seconds, maybe 3, 2, 1. And then let the knee bend. So it's very tempting when you straighten that leg to kind of let yourself sit back because it's kind of easier that way. So keeping the leg straight, but also sitting up tall. And you're sort of trying to lift that leg up. Quite hard. You can feel that on the front of the legs there, maybe at the back. And just hold it for 3, 2, 1. We're going to do it once more on this leg, and then we'll have a go on the other leg. And then bend and relax. Okay, so last one on this leg. So try and lift the leg up a little higher. I can feel that for sure. I'm just holding it there. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so the purpose of this exercise is to strengthen these muscles, the quad muscles above your knee. Okay, and I'm sure you can feel that. And actually quite a nice thing to do, if you put your hand on the muscles above your knee, here, if you put your hand there, you can feel that they're quite soft. The muscles are quite soft. If you keep your hand there and you straighten that leg, you'll feel, I'm sure that you'll feel those muscles tightening up. Okay, so we've swapped legs. So you're keeping that leg straight, as straight as you can, and that might be enough of a challenge in itself. If you can, you're trying to lift it up a little bit and just hold it for our 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then relax. So we'll do that again. Straighten that leg. You can feel those muscles above the knee hardening up, tightening up. Holding it there. 3, 2, 1, and then relax. And we'll do that once more. Straighten that leg. Holding it there. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're going to go back to the leg that we started with. And, if you found that, I find that exercise is, I can definitely feel the muscles there. If we did want to make it more challenging, we'd sit closer to the front of the chair. So you'd sit a bit closer to the front of your chair to make sure I've got room for my leg. And you'd straighten that leg again. And we're still trying to see if we can lift it a little bit higher. So it's a bit harder. It's a bit more difficult, a bit more challenging, sitting close to the front edge there. Okay. So holding that leg up. 3, 2, 1. And relax. We'll do 2 more. I'll do my counting quicker this time. 3, 2, 1. Last one on this leg, then we'll do the other leg. 3, 2, 1. Let's just do the other leg as well for balance. Straightening it out. Holding it there. 3, 2, and 1. And again, straighten out that leg and hold it and try and stay upright. 3, 2, 1. Last one. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. How's that? That one, I think, if you've got stiff knees or sore knees, that one can sometimes be a little bit harder on the knees. How difficult, you know, how much you can feel the muscles from quite a simple exercise. Okay, so the next one we're going to do standing. And so this one you can use the back of the chair, or I'm going to use the work surface to put my hand on for this one. And this one is for the back of your leg, back of your knee. Okay. So let's put my chair out of the way. I'm in the picture. Right. So I'll do it with the work surface first of all. It's going to be hands on either your worktop or the back of your chair, standing up tall, and you're going to have your legs about hip distance apart, and you're going to pick up one foot, you're going to bend your knee, okay, and you're just trying to keep that heel towards your bottom and just stand there, standing tall with that foot up behind you there and holding it for our 3 seconds again. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And then we can put the leg down. So we're going to try that one 5 times on the same leg. So we'll do that another 4 times. Okay, so bending that knee. We want to try and make sure that this knee is either in line with the other leg or slightly behind. You know, we don't want it here. We don't want it in front. We want to try and keep thigh bones in line with each other. Okay, so we're holding that. Oh, sorry, you've already held it for more than 3. So we'll take it down. Okay, so this is our number 3. Holding it for 3, 2, and 1. And down. And again, bend that knee and hold it. 3, 2, 1. One more on this leg. Bending that knee and 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's do the other leg. So again, bend the knee. You're trying to kind of keep the knee in line with your other leg. Holding it there. 3, 2, 1. And number 4. 3, 2, 1. And number 3. 3, 2, and 1. And number 2. So really imagine you're trying to get that heel towards your bottom. 3, 2, 1, and one more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So for that one, it's good to have something to give you a little bit of support and balance. If we wanted to make it a little bit more challenging, that's one that you could try and do with just one hand for support. You know, you'd hold the leg up and you just have one hand, or you could do it with no hands, depending how your balance is. Yeah, so all of these exercises, you can start with both hands on something, just the fingertips on something, one hand, and no hands. You know, so lots of different ways to make it a little bit more challenging for that one. So if we stay here with our hands on something for support, we're going to do calf raises or heel raises. Okay, so again, you're standing tall. Think of a string on the top of your head, drawing you up to the ceiling. And as it sounds, as it explains, you're going to raise your heels or raise your calves. Okay, so you're trying to come up. Depends on the toes. If you've got sore toes, staying up on the toes might not be so easy, and you lower back down again slowly. So we come up, and really important that you come down as slowly as you can. Okay, I'm just gonna, let's see if we do 10 of these. So I think that was number 3. So lifting those heels, lowering down slowly. 5, I think, maybe. And 6. Lowering down slowly. 5. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Okay, I'm just going to come in. So how were the back knee strengtheners? That's the one where you had to bring your heel behind you. That one, could you feel it in there? And then the calf raises that we just did, we're going to do some more, but the calf raises, bit of balance for that one, and also strengthening those calf muscles there. So for if you're short like me, then, you know, if you need to go up to a cupboard to get something out, then it's good to strengthen those calf muscles. And also for the feet and the ankles, you know, it gets the feet and the ankles moving as well, which helps with your walking as well. So let's do another 10 of our calf raises. If you found your balance, if you were quite happy with your balance, you could maybe try doing it. I'll use the back of the chair this time for a little variety. You could try doing it side on. So we did it face on. You could try doing it side on. So you've got your hand on something just for a bit of balance there. And we'll do our 10. So you're going to come up, slowly, slowly down, as slowly down as you can. And 9. And 8. 7. And 6. And 5. And you imagine you're trying to get the top of your head closer, reaching up to the ceiling. You know, we want to make sure that we're not kind of going forwards when we go up. We want to try and go straight up. So I think we're at number 3, as you can tell. I'm always lose count. And 2. And last one. Okay, and you know, these exercises, that's why I'm doing it in the kitchen, because while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, hand on your worktop, do some heel raises, do some knee bends, you know, whatever you fancy, while you're waiting for something else to go on. So we've done our sit to stand, we've done our back knee strengthener, we've done our front knee strengthener, we've done our calf raises. We're going to have a look at knee bends. They are similar to the sit to stand, but they're maybe more challenging than the sit to stand. Okay, so you're going to start standing up for that one. And I'm going to use the back of the chair for this one. Yeah, so just, you don't want to be gripping your chair, so you're really just using it for a little bit of balance. So we start standing. So this time we're just going to bend the knees just a small amount. Okay, so you're going to feel it more in the front of the legs and back up. Okay, so when we bend the knees, we want to make sure that the knees don't go in front of your toes. So we don't want to be there. We want to just have knees, small bend of the knees, bottom going behind you a little bit and up. Okay, so I can feel it here. I hope that you can feel it in those muscles as well. And just kind of like you're preparing to sit down, but you've changed your mind for whatever reason, and you're coming back up. So we're aiming for maybe 10 of those. I think that was probably number 6 or something like that. So let's see, this is 7. 9. And 10. Okay, so we can give the legs a little shake, and we'll give them a little shake out. And then we will do another 10. Okay, so standing tall, bending the knees, trying to make sure that the knees don't go in front of the toes. And then back up. So it's a smaller range of movement than when we did the sit to stand from the chair. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Give the legs another little shake out. We're going to do one last set, but this time, instead of doing our 10, we're going to hold it for a little bit longer. Okay, so if you're ready, you're going to bend those knees, but you're going to stay there. See if you can hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then back up. Okay, so let's come down again and hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back up. So we're going to do 3 more. Let's do 5 altogether of those. So holding it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more to do. Okay. We want to keep our nice length in spine. We don't want to be rounded. 3, 2, 1. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, 1 more to do. Last one. Just holding it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Give the legs a wee shake out. So that was the quad muscles here that we were strengthening. Could you feel that? They're all quite straightforward exercises. They're things that you do a little bit of every day, probably. But if you do a few more, maybe do a little bit more of them every day or every other day, it will just help with balance and with strength as well. So there's just 2 more to have a look at. Yes, so the first one is called they're not very snappy names, side hip strengthener. Okay, so you're going to be standing, and you can use the back of the chair or the worktop or a table, something that you can just put your hand on to keep you give you a little bit of support. So you need to be side on this time because you're going to move the leg out to the side. Let me make sure I've got enough space here. So standing tall always, hand on whatever you're using for support. And we want to just take the weight onto the leg nearest your chair, nearest your table, or whatever. So you weight on there, and we want to just, so this leg is just hovering above the floor and no more, okay? You're going to take it out to the side and back. Okay, so don't put it fully down on the floor. You're just sliding it out to the side and back. Oh, somebody's trying to join us. How we rest there for a second. So we're doing the side hip strengthener, which is kind of self-explanatory, but we're standing just with something on our hand on something for a little bit of support. Standing tall, you're going to take the weight onto, we're going to do another set there. You're going to take your weight onto the leg nearest your chair. And we don't, yeah, so that's what I was about to say. When this leg comes out to the side, it's very tempting to kind of do this so that you think, oh, get my leg really far out to the side. We're trying to stay upright, and we're just trying to bring this leg out to the side as far as we can before our body kind of wants to do that. Okay, so it might be quite a small range of movement, and that's fine. So taking it out to the side and back. Okay, and you can feel this leg as well. This leg's having to work to hold you up, and the other leg, the muscles on the outside, are doing a bit of work too. Okay, so let's see if we do 2 more. So for this one, let me just check how many they suggest that we do. Starting off doing it 5 times. So have a wee relax. Starting off doing it 5 times, building up to doing it 10 times. And then, you know, when that becomes very easy, we would then try and see if we could hold the leg there for like our 3, 2, and 1, and back. We'll just do that 2 more times, then we're going to do the other leg. So out to the side. 3, 2, 1, and back in. Last one. Keep standing tall. Out to the side. 3, 2, 1. I can certainly feel it in this leg. So let's swap over to the other side, the other leg. I'll just move my chair out of the way a little bit. Yeah. So taking your weight onto the other leg. So the foot is just hovering off the floor and no more. Okay, and we're going out and back. So that was number 5. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, have a little shake of the legs. Okay, and we'll do another 5. You kind of reset yourself, standing tall, out to the side. 5. Yeah, and it's your body just wants to do this to help, doesn't it? 2, and 1. Okay, give the legs a little shake. For the last set, let's see if we can do the out and hold. So you're going to come out and hold. 3, 2, 1, and back. And then out again. 3, 2, 1. 3 more to do. Out to the side. 3, 2, 1. Back. And second last one. 3, 2, 1. Back. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, good. Okay, so that was our side hip strengthener. I certainly could feel it here. So again, really simple exercise, but just repeating it more, doing the hold makes it more challenging. So we've got one left, and actually I found this one probably the hardest one. And I definitely recommend that you have your hands on something, because it's quite hard to do without your hands on without any support. It is toe raises. So we did heel raises, this time toe raises. Okay, so you are going to have your hands on something. Okay, standing tall again. And you're going to try and bring your toes up and down. Okay, so lifting those toes, and I do find that I'm kind of pushing with my hands a little bit as well. Lifting up the toes and down. So lifting up and down. Just checking to see how many times they suggest doing this. 5 times. No, wrong thing. Looking at the wrong one there, sorry. Yes. So one more and we'll have a little rest. Okay. So this is for the muscles at the front of your shins here. When you lift the toes up, it gets those muscles at the front working. So if you're having to lift your leg up and step over something, you're using those muscles. So let's do another 5. So hands on your support, whatever you're using. Lift those toes. Try and lift them as close to your, bring them as high up to your shins as you can. And down. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Okay, and we can have another little rest of the legs. When your balance feels better, you could try doing it with just one hand, but I did try doing it with no hands and I find it quite difficult. So lifting, that's probably easiest. You can see the feet sideways. Lifting them up. 5. So mainly the muscles at the front of your shins, but you might also feel it higher up the leg as well. And 3. And 2. And last one there. Okay. So those are the ones that I just wanted to share with you. That's been, 35 minutes or something. So a really short amount of time, but a little bit of extra work for the muscles. Hopefully you can feel that some of those muscles were working.